Welcome back to the Wise Guys, the winningest quarterback in BYU history, who defeated number 3 Oklahoma to open his senior season in 2009, the great Max Hall. And you got a big playoff game Friday night, right?
We do. It's a big game versus the number 2 team in the state, Basha. So in that open playoff, we got the 7 seed and get to go against the number 2 Basha team. So they're a good team, but I'm looking forward to the game.
So ALA Queen Creek is 8-2, Basha's 9-1. How's Ty holding up as a head coach? Is he still letting you got the green light to call whatever you want?
Ty's a wreck, man. I got to be honest with you. He's a disaster. No, Ty's doing great, man. It's been a fun season with him and with Enoch, our quarterback, and the team that we've had. Quite honestly, it was a team that we weren't sure about. We were thinking maybe 500. We'll see. And so to end up 8-2 and the 7th seed in the Open's pretty cool. So we're having a good time, man. Ty's doing great.
Hey, there was a good article on Enoch that involved you and Ty, written by Dick Harmon at Deseret.com. How's he doing? How's he coming along?
The kid just seems to get better and better every week, more comfortable with the offense. I've been able to expand things and do some different stuff and put more on his plate. And especially kind of the last 2 games, he's kind of got off and he's hot right now going into this playoff game. So I like our chances, man. And he's a great kid doing a great job, and hopefully we can finish right.
You know, he's always had the physical skills, right? You mentioned that to us before the season even started. And so much of playing quarterback is understanding what's going on the other side of the ball, getting the ball out on time in the right spots at the right time. That's all mental stuff. And I hear you talking about that with him. How have you gotten him to progress so fast, so quickly? Because I think BYU needs some advice on how to get these guys to progress in the same way, right?
I've spent a lot of time with him, to be honest with you. I mean, ever since he came in the spring, we've spent a lot of time in my office going over scheme and reads. And, you know, he came from a wing T offense.
Oh, man.
You know, he'd never run an RPO before. He didn't have to take very many 3-step and a hitch drops. It was all play action rollout. So everything from his feet to his mechanics to his reads to his timing, and to his credit, he's kind of a gym rat. And every time I've asked him to come in, he's either already here or, yes, sir, coach, I'll be right there. And so to his credit, he's put in a lot of work. And quite honestly, because of him, we've had the season that we've had.
Well, Max, Jake Retzlaff's getting ready to play Oklahoma on Saturday. This will be his 3rd start if he starts.
Yeah, we don't know if Keaton's healthy and will come back or not. They haven't decided yet.
But Aaron Roderick said he's preparing Jake. What does Jake got to do? You've seen him a couple of games now. Is he so in over his head? What are you seeing that gives you hope?
Well, I'll tell you what I like about him is I think the kid's got fight, and I think the kid's got heart. He's got playmaking ability. I just, you know, it's hard when you watch the games at home on TV. You can't really see the routes downfield, the secondary. You can't really pick up on all of his reads. I'm guessing that he missed some. You know, there was a few replays, and I think he missed some reads, and that stuff takes a while. You know, he's still young, and he's playing some really good football teams. So hopefully they can, you know, him and A-Rod can get together and in the scheme, you know, come up with some ways to where you can get the ball out fast, get him some easy reads, and let him use his athletic ability. So whatever that looks like for them. But I always tell people, try to be creative yet simple. Be creative in what you're doing, but make it simple for the quarterback, especially when he's young or new.
You know, Max, as I watched all of you guys develop from playing as young players to being veterans and playing as juniors and seniors when you've had a lot of reps, it feels like you all get better at getting through your progressions and then just getting to the check down. And it seems like you always know where the check down is. And so it's like, hey, instead of 1, I'm waiting a little bit. No, he's not open. 2, crap, now I need to run. It's like 1, nope. 2, nope. 3, here's my check down. Bam, and it's off. And that's where he had open guys this last week, or some of the checkdowns and the underneath stuff that he could have gotten out quick. And you probably can't see it if you're not watching the All-22 like I get to, but how can you put a guy on a hyper speed to understand that faster? Is it possible, or does it just take reps?
It takes reps, but it obviously takes reps, and takes game reps, but you have to rep it in practice. And for me, your timing and decision-making has a lot to do with your feet. You know, I was brought up in the old, you know, Bill Walsh, you know, run and shoot West Coast, where it was hitch, go, right? So you hitch to your first read, you hitch to your second read. If it's not there, you go. And so something like that, timing wise, is what he needs. And I think it starts with his feet and understanding the timing of the routes and the concepts, getting to my check down. And I know because I've been doing that with Enoch for the past, 6 to 8 months or whatever. And it all starts with your feet. And I think your feet, if they're too fast, it speeds your head up. You need to have the right timing to make the right decisions and to go through your reads. So that's, in my opinion, what you can do for it to happen the fastest.
Former BYU quarterback Max Hall is on the Wise Guys on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and ysguys.com. BYU's 5-5 through their first year of Power 5 football in the Big 12. What has surprised you? What has disappointed you?
Wow, that's a tough question. What has surprised me is the record. I thought that they would have won a few of the games that they lost. I was expecting them to be more, at least 6-7 game wins. And I'm sure the coaches and everybody would tell you the same thing. I've been disappointed in the run game if we're going to talk scheme.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like BYU has ever really got the run game going and been consistent at it. And again, I'm not in the meeting rooms. I'm not there. I don't know if it's the offensive line, scheme, whatever it is. But I think that's why they struggled a little bit offensively, because if you don't have a solid run game in A-Rod's offense, the play action and the rollouts and everything else that he does won't be open. The other thing I don't know is if our receivers are creating separation downfield. Like, again, I can't see that. So I don't know if the quarterbacks are missing reads or if just nothing's there and we're not creating separation. But, I never like to talk about the negatives, but I think the disappointment would be just the inconsistencies a little bit on offense and not winning some of the games that I feel like we should have.
BYU, Oklahoma, 10 a.m. start, which Dave and I are going out of our minds because that means we have to be in studio at 6 a.m., on the air at 8 a.m.
That means you're not coming up,
Dave,
so we're bugged by that too.
Dave doesn't get up till 10 a.m., so this is going to be an interesting thing for him. Interesting for the players as well. You've upset Oklahoma before. What needs to happen for this BYU team to pull off an upset at home on Saturday morning?
The first thing they have to do, in my opinion, is and I don't know if you want to call it culture or attitude, but they got to fix their mindset. Like, I feel like it's kind of spiraling the last couple games. And now when you get to that point, having enthusiasm and passion, it almost feels forced, if that makes sense. So I think Kalani needs to figure out a way to get the team back excited, motivated, and honestly go out and play this game like you got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Really what they're battling for is to be able to go to a bowl game now. So they need to win one of these games to go to a bowl game. So why not come out in this game, open the playbook up, play with passion, have fun, and just enjoy playing the game of football? I think sometimes when you get too tense and then everything seems forced after that and nothing can ever get rolling. So I think they need to relax, play like you got nothing to lose. And then the number one thing is believe you can beat these guys. Don't make the game bigger than it is. Go in and execute, do your job, right? Play with passion, and then make the dang plays when they're there. We need to start making the plays when we have the opportunity. And if we do that, we can beat anybody. So it all starts with belief, culture, attitude. And then, in my opinion, this team just needs to go back to having fun and playing football.
Yeah, that's a great point. I watch them sometimes. They've had so many games, Max, where they come out and I see fire early, and then they turn the ball over 2 straight times like they did last week, or 4 times in a row like they did against Kansas. And I feel like that you watch that defense, and it's almost like they're going out there, come on, guys. If we're going to win, this offense can't move the ball, so we're going to have to score on defense. And then the next thing you know, they're down 10-0, and they've only given up 30 yards of total offense, and they're down 10-0. Or like they were in the Kansas game, 41 yards of total offense, and they were down 21. And then you kind of see the defense, and it's not necessarily effort. It's guys running all over the place outside of their assignments, trying to play hero ball now because they got to make a play. We were talking about this before we came on the air. People are going, well, I just don't see the effort. Now, I get to watch the film every week. I'm like, oh, no, there's effort. But there's dudes not trusting, thinking, oh, my goodness, I've got to make this giant play to win this game on this next play. So I'm going to run to the other side of the football and try to make a play when I'm supposed to stay right here. How do you reel that in? Because that's a real thing.
That is exactly what I was talking about with the mindset. And when I'm saying it feels forced, that's what I'm talking about. Guys are thinking they have to go above and beyond their assignment, what they're supposed to be doing to try to win the game or try to create a turnover or something that can change the game. when bottom line, it comes down to starting fast. Like I said, make the plays and execute. Do your job and execute and trust your teammates to make the plays. But you can't come out and throw an interception on the first play. You got to get rolling offensively. You got to get some completions. You got to run the ball a little bit, throw some screens, do something to kind of get your guys going. Defense, do your job. Do your assignment. I mean, that's what they harp on defense. Everybody, alignment and assignment, and then play with some energy and passion. I'm with you. I don't think it's an effort deal. I think it's a mindset.
Yes.
100% it's a mindset deal, not an effort deal. And they need to flip their mindset to, hey, let's execute. Let's be assignment sound. Let's make the catch when it's there. Let's make the cut. Let's make the block. And let's plug away at this thing, not feel like you have to win the game in one play.
It's a job for a psychologist, Sataki.
Yeah. No, he's like,
to do that.
Max, you're so right on the ball there.
Hey, we just got time for a couple more questions because you've got practice coming up here in a few minutes. 2009 Dallas, BYU beats Oklahoma 14-13. The Sooners are ranked number 3. You're the winningest quarterback in school history. Was that the biggest of all your victories?
I think so. I mean, in that environment, we were the first game ever played in that new Dallas Cowboys stadium, Oklahoma. The place was packed. I just remember just a sea of crimson and then this little sliver of BYU fans over there in the corner. And but we believed we could win. Like, there was no doubt in our mind that we could win. The defense played phenomenal in that game. And then offensively, we made enough plays to win the game, especially at the end. And, I didn't know the camera was on me, but running in at halftime when I'm looking up at our little sliver of BYU fans and I'm saying, we're going to win, that was our mindset.
Yeah.
And we were going to do our job and do what we had to do to win. And it came down to a long, I think it was a 12-play drive in the fourth quarter where we went a little up-tempo, 2-minute, and then we're able to cap it off. So, it takes a full team effort. And I think BYU needs to figure out how they're going to put that together this weekend when they play on all 3 sides of the football.
Take us back to that last drive. You just referred to it. What were your thoughts during that drive, and what do you remember about that drive? We all remember the touchdown pass to McKay, right? But there's a lot more to that than just that one play that got you in position. What do you remember most about that drive, and what was your mindset?
So a couple things. First of all, I loved that Coach and I said, hey, we're going to switch it up and go no huddle up tempo, on the ball up tempo. And he kind of said, hey, Max, we had rehearsed our 2-minute plays that we like against them. He goes, Max, go, call it. And let's see what we can make happen right now. But there's 2 key plays on that drive which made it work. The first one, it was a 3rd and long. I can't remember exactly the distance. And we called blue right 80, which is like a kind of a drop. And then I dash out to the right. And then Austin had a comeback and go. And then Dennis had a deep inside comeback. And that throw I made, first of all, Dennis ran a phenomenal route, created separation. And I threw a ball getting hit running to my right that we completed. That was big, first of all. The second big one was the 4th down call. And it was a situation that us as players and the coaches were prepared for. We knew if we got to a 4th and short situation, we were going to call Niner. That was the name of the play. And so we got on the ball. It was a play that we had repped really all year, and we all knew our assignment. But what's funny is 90% of the time on that play, I threw the ball to the flat to Harvey. But once in a while, I would throw the corner to McKay. Not once ever repping that play did I ever throw it to Dennis. In practice,
wow,
never.
Well, went for 23 yards.
One of those things that was instinct, and I rolled out, went nope, and just happened to look inside to Dennis, and he was there. I dumped it to him.
Take what the defense gives, right? That's this offense. Take what the defense gives.
And then a couple plays later, you got Jacobs in the back of the end zone, and the rest is history.
People forget about those big plays that got you there. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Max.
Max, we wish you the best of luck Friday in the playoffs, and we hope to see you up here very soon. Thanks for joining us.
Go bash Basha. That's what I say.
Bash Basha, man. Absolutely. I appreciate you guys, man. Go Cougs. Let's get the win this weekend.
Thanks, Max.